Hello again from the very sunny and very hot Austria. I'm a victim of electronic harassment and observation and torture for more than 9 years now. Um, this severe torture began when I moved to my own little house here in my hometown um, in April 2002. Um, what happened during the last years? Um, First, I could not sleep in my house, so they don't let me sleep. So I moved back to the house of my parents and I could sleep again. Then, a year later, in April 2002, they don't let me sleep anymore in the house of my parents, so I moved again back to my own house. But they don't let me sleep. I suffered a lot of under sleep deprivation. Um, but I see from the beginning that I'm not ill, that this problems must be connected with electromagnetic radiation. But I thought that this must come from the cell phone towers nearby. They have problems with the electromagnetic radiation. Um, yes. What are my main symptoms? My main symptoms is that they control my sleep, and when you control somebody's sleep, you can control somebody's life. Um, I'm suffering under increased heartbeat, heart pain, head pain. They attack my eyes. I hear very often a noise in this ear, for example. This noise came from the electromagnetic radiation which is sent direct to me. I have problems with thinking. They control my thoughts, my subconscious, and so on. I have a problem to remember, for example, my childhood, the past things. They influence my dreams, they control my dreams. I think behind this is only a part of the physical pain I'm suffering. Um, what is behind my story, this crime, this torture? I think in my case is covered human experimentations. Um, um, During the night, they make this human experimentation, and the torture is only made to control you, that you stay small like a slave, you should stay poor, and so on. And you also should stay alone. When I would say to my friends or to my family, yes, I'm a victim of mind control, I'm a victim of covered human experimentation, this they would all say, yes, she's crazy. I cannot say this to them anymore. A lot of my so-called friends have left me. Uh, I think they was also set under severe mind control to do this, to think this, not to believe me, because not each person who comes too near to me is also under observation and then also under mind control when they want. And when this person comes too near to you, they control the mind, the feelings of this person, and for example, feelings turns extremely against you. So each person will leave you because the persons around really don't know what's going on. Even for the victims, it's very hard to understand what's going on, and a lot of victims don't understand their own mind control. They do not realize the whole situation. what's really going on. But in reality, the victims are normally under surveillance 24 hours and also under harassment. Um, during From April 2002 to October 2008, I was very much tortured because maybe the reason also was because I talked very much with another victim from Austria on telephone, and we also always said what's going on, what problems we have, and what pain we are suffering, and we delivered the results of human experimentations, for example, directly to the perps. In October 2002, I bought a meter, a detector for measurements of electromagnetic radiations, because I think all the years that I have problems with this radiation because I'm so sensitive. And then I see very quickly that the radiation on the detector was always the same. But at the same time, meanwhile, my symptoms turns very quickly. Each 2 minutes, from headache to heartbeat to nausea to and so on. They can send into your body also each kind of pain. When you have, for example, headache, they must not attack your head. They prefer to attack your body over the back or the neck. So you should shield your neck like I do now with this special shawl. Because when I make this movie, they attack my neck, for example. I should have headache. I should not speak good and so on. But this protects me very good. And yes, when I make this measurements with my new detector, I have each 2 minutes other different kinds of pain, but the measurement was almost the same. And suddenly I realized, oh, this is not the cell phone radiation. This must be something else. And then I began to search in web space. Yes, what is existing besides cell phone radiation and so on. And very quickly I found the words mind control, electronic harassment and so on, and I began to study on these sites, and so I see very quickly that my physical symptoms were very similar to the symptoms mentioned on the sites. And suddenly I realized, no, okay, these are weapons. I'm not sensitive. I don't have problems with this cell phone base stations, for example. Something very severe is going on with me, with my body, and this radiation is used like a weapon. And then during the months and weeks since October 2008, I became more aware what's going on, and it is also very important to mention here that then I published my torture testimony on a social network for victims, on mind control victims around the world. And from this time, my torture went better. They reduced my torture from this time. And then I got more and more knowledge about the techniques behind, the people behind, the reasons behind, and so on during the month, the weeks, and so on. And also got knowledge of more and more victims around the world. And Yes, okay. But I was still suffering under this severe torture, a lot of under sleep deprivation and heartache during the day. Um, when I'm working, for example, uh, in front of the monitor, the computer, they know exactly where I am, then they torture me very much. But then I have suddenly an idea, I think half a year ago, I have the idea, yes, everybody wants us to let believe that the power of the perps and the power of the weapons are so overwhelming. And suddenly I have the idea, no, this cannot be the reality. Nothing is perfect in this world. Why are these weapons so perfect? We should always believe. We hear a lot of discussions from informations about so much weapons exists, they can do everything, they can find you everything, and so on. Yes, this is true, and this is a very good information. But at the other side, I must also say, my experience is meanwhile this system, this network is not perfect. The cell phone network is not perfect, because nothing is perfect in this world. Even the perps are not perfect. Sorry, so much noise. Even the perps behind are not perfect. And first I could improve my situation when I install some big copper bottles near my computer working place, grounded to earth with a copper wire. They tortured me when I do this extreme during 10 days. But I think no, I will not put this away anymore. And after the 10 days, this extreme torture stopped, and my situation went much better. And so I see, yes, okay, I know that I'm always under surveillance, and the perps want that I put away again this kind of shilling. But then everything went better. And so I installed more and more copper wires in my house, near my computer working place, and so on. And the torture was very much reduced. The question is now why? I think the answer is very simple. It's very simple because in my case I don't have stalkers in the neighborhood, and all this comes from the distance, from satellites, over satellites, from over cell phone base stations into my house, and they can also use their household electricity and so on. You can send the direct energy torture signals, for example, into your household electricity, and then you are tortured in your house, in your apartment, and so on. But at the other side, the system seems not to be perfect, and when you make some kind of shilling, in my case this were copper tubes, the system don't works anymore perfectly. Okay, then I got knowledge of more and more victims and got more and more good advices, and the next advice from me is very cheap and easy shieldings. Um, they like very much to attack me, torture me over my eyes. For example, my left eyes. Maybe you can see the black ring under my eye. I think this behind this eye I have microchips. I think also I am implanted all over the body, like a lot of victims. Meanwhile, the microchips are very small. Meanwhile, yes, okay. And when they attack again my eyes, I begin to wear big plastic sunglasses, and suddenly the pain was very much reduced. Um, Yes, cause this electromagnetic radiation seems not to be very high. This is also easy to explain because it comes normally from a very big distance, and at the other side the energy of human body is not very high, so it's easy to influence human body. But at the other side, you can easily shield very low radiation. It's easy done. Normally the radiation, as in my case, is not very high, but is biological very effective. It's a combination of the real frequencies and so on inside this radiation to cause pain, to cause sleep deprivation, to cause nausea, and all these things we are suffering under. Um, then the next advice of me is when they attack, for example, my head. I I like to wear caps, beanies of fleece fabric, woolen fabric, thick fleece fabric and thick woolen fabric and so on. You can also put a videotape inside. These are the first. Okay, you can also wear fleece jackets with polyester down. This very cheap and easy things help me, was the best first aid in my case, but I must say it's not enough. Also, the system left me when I put on a cap, for example. Sometimes during hours, the supercomputer seems to leave me, to lose me. First, you must find a person, and then you can torture a person. But the supercomputer, the symptoms, the computers, the system seems to lose me for a while. But this was not enough. So meanwhile, I have found a very good shilling material made of copper and iron. Inside this shawl is this material, and this material is very good and protects my body about 90% from this torture radiation. And I would advise to each victim not to give up, but it's very important to shield your body, because an unshielded victim is the best victim for the perps. An isolated victim is also a very good victim, the best victim for the perps. So we have victims all over the world, very isolated victims. Any victims in Austria, any victims in Germany, any victims in New York, for example, any victims in Florida, and so on. And this is also part of the game. When all the victims would come together, for example, I think they would not be victims anymore. So they must isolate the victims and control the victims, and also mind control the victims. And a lot of victims are not aware of their own mind control. They think that they are only victims when they feel pain, and otherwise they are free. But I know now that they can control completely your mind, your subconscious, and so on, and they also control the people around you. You should not be surprised when very bad things happen in your life. This is, I think, 90% manipulated by the perps over these techniques. In my case, they destroyed each beginning friendship to a man, for example. This friendship were destroyed very quickly, within minutes. And it is also important to say that after these friendships were destroyed, when I met again these people, they, after any week, they don't know anymore why this happened, why they did this, why they said this and so, and why they left me, for example. but as I think each victim know, meanwhile the government do nothing, the Kurds do nothing to help us. So I must say, they want this kind of crime, they want this kind of weapons, and they also want this kind of human experimentations. Thank you.